Hi, today is September 17th, 2023, and here are my poems for the day. The first one, incredibly, is poem number 1500 for the year, Business Card. A few weeks ago, while cleaning, I was surprised to find a business card from Noyes, New York, that I have probably had since 1987. Noyes, New York was a recording studio owned and operated by Mark Kramer, who calls himself Kramer, and when Dogbowl, Alex, Rebecca, and I recorded our first record, Fluting on the Hump, the studio was located on 34th Street. The business card brings back a lot of memories, and if it's not too self-indulgent, I'd like to recount a few, and if it is too self-indulgent, I'd still like to. Poem number 1501, Mykel. I called up Mykel Board, who recorded the single for my first band called You Suck, and asked him who I should record with. He asked if I wanted a really meticulous professional or someone who could do it fast and cheap. I said, fast and cheap. I wonder who the other producer that Mykel was thinking about was. I wonder if Mykel remembers who it was. Probably not Don Was of Was Not Was. I don't think Don Was in New York at the time. Mykel gave me the number and told me to call Mark Kramer, so I did. Poem number 1502, Mark. I dialed the number that Mykel gave me and asked for Mark Kramer. I guess Mykel didn't know that Kramer didn't go by Mark Kramer. He called himself Kramer. The guy who answered told Kramer there was a call for Mark Kramer, as if that was funny, which maybe it was, or maybe they were both stoned. I wonder who it was who answered the phone. Maybe it was Don Fleming. It probably wasn't Don Was of Was Not Was. Poem number 1503, George, or The Recording. I booked the time a few weeks later. We were recording with Kramer. I believe we finished all of the recordings in a single day, but we might have brought in George O'Malley later. George did some fantastic shouting on Sensitive Artist and played the xylophone on Wuss. George died a few years ago, which is really fucking sad. I don't remember much about the recording, and a lot of what I do remember is boring and technical, but I will always have an image of George playing the xylophone with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. Or is that an image from when we made the You Suck single? I was really happy with the way Fluting on the Hump came out, but I had no idea what would happen next. Poem number 1504, Shimmy Disc. After we were done, Kramer asked what we were going to do with the recordings. I told him I was planning to shop them around and see if someone would give us a record deal. He told me about the label that he was starting called Shimmy Disc. He presented it as a consortium of recording artists who would pool their money and share in the profits. But that was not what it was. That is what it not was. What it was Kramer's company, and he kept all the money and doled out some in drips and drabs, now and again when someone involved would grumble about money. Fluting on the Hump came out on Shimmy Disc in 1987. We never signed a contract, but I think I have a receipt for the money I paid for the recordings, which brings me to the back of the business card. Poem number 1505, Receipt. I think Kramer gave me the business card as a receipt. On the back of the business card, it says $150 paid. The only money I ever remember giving Kramer was the money I paid him for the Fluting on the Hump recording sessions. Could this mean I only paid him $150? Maybe it was a 50% deposit, $300 total for 10 hours. $30 an hour sounds plausible, 1987. Anyway, I don't think I ever got any money from Kramer, but I still have the receipt. And the last poem of the day, poem number 1506, parenthetical. There is so much more. There is so much more. That is more than enough, but there is so much more. There's even more to say about the back of the business card. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. And I had 3 ideas that I wrote down this morning that probably would have been better than all of this. Shoe dog, boring pool, opinion poll, P-O-L-E. Those fuckers will write themselves when I get a chance to be there for them. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. or maybe the day after tomorrow, because tomorrow I may have more to say about those early KMDFR days. There's one thing that I don't think can wait until maybe tomorrow. I referenced Don Was and his band Was Not Was a number of times today because the reason King Missile Dogfly Religion has a parenthetical in its name is because of Was Not Was. I thought the parenthetical in their name was awesome, so I used that idea for KMDFR, which, when you say it like that, kind of sounds like another band called KMDFM. But that is a coincidence. No, it's KMFDM, isn't it? But that is a coincidence. Okay, it's time to record these fuckers. I bet it will go over 5 minutes. Oh, it did. 5:20 now. I bet it will go over 5 minutes, but at least I didn't go over 7 poems, or whatever the fuck these are. All right, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.